the only officer, that was charged in the Breonna Taylor murder. And he wasn't even charged directly for murdering her, but just for bullets that went into her neighbor's apartment. Brett Hankison of Louisville PD was acquitted of endangering Breonna Taylor's neighbors in the raid. Hankison, the only officer who was charged, fired 10 bullets into Miss Taylor's apartment. 3 pierced a wall and flew into another apartment where families slept. So this is it. The first outrage is that he wasn't even charged directly for Breonna Taylor's murder. He was charged for stray bullets that went into other apartments. But shocker, he was acquitted. Before I get your response, I just want to play a short clip from my interview in Louisville last summer with Breonna Taylor's aunts.
The body cameras are after the fact, though, after everything had taken place, like because we was told that there was nothing, and the evidence that he got, is blurred out. Some has been deleted, some has been, what I'm saying, like tampered with, per se. Some of the voices, some you can't see some, but you can sure hear the conversations that went on. So
we just went from corrupt to just mind-blowingly illegal. You're not allowed to delete body cam footage or edit it or anything like that.
It's disgusting, and we outraged. Like I get angry just like thinking about it and talking about it. Just that fire, that angry is it's mind-blowing that my niece lost her life for some machine, yeah. So this shit could have been avoided.
Them to interview her or to, do you know Jamarcus Glover type situation, if that was it.
I think what's really insult to injury, you briefly mentioned it. Well, the mayor's office fiercely denied that this had anything to do with trying to seize Jamarcus Glover's house. But on Breonna Taylor's birthday, the city buys the house for $1. I think they flipped it or something to somebody. So it does seem that the city had an interest in that house. So there's multiple levels here between just straight up cover up, but also the motivations behind tying a black nurse to Jamarcus Glover. The reason I played that, and that I interviewed Breonna Taylor's aunts while I was in Louisville covering the story, so it's up on the channel if you want to watch the whole interview. The reason I covered that, played that, is not only has no officer been charged, well, one officer was charged, but not for the murder of Breonna Taylor. Not only did the Kentucky Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, lie about the grand jury process, but you have a massive police cover-up that has just been accepted. And I was in Louisville. They did some woke shit. They put up some signs. They called it Breeway, Breonna Taylor Street Breeway. But you have not an officer has been charged. Not an officer has been convicted. Only one officer was even charged. He just got off. He wasn't even charged with murdering her. It kind of goes back to what we were just talking about. You want to talk about human rights? Where is the Department of Justice? By the way, part of my interview with them was the FBI was supposedly investigating this. What happened with that? Just like the Department of Justice under Obama was investigating Eric Garner and civil rights, possible civil rights violations. That never went anywhere. And Trump's DOJ squashed it. It's just unbelievable to me. You have a blatant police cover-up. You have the Attorney General of the state who has it's not even up for debate. He lied about the grand jury because grand jury members came out saying he's lying about what we decided, and he didn't even give us the option of charging XYZ. Your thoughts just on it's just beyond corrupt and unjust.
And okay, this is where I'm going to go into my full theoretical, philosophical mode. You know what's happening. There's no denying it. I think what is happening is that it's the shock of just how blatant these people move. And again, this comes from a time where I have to say, before the internet, we weren't sharing these videos that quick and fast. It took time for the Rodney King case had to happen on live television. Thank God there was the helicopter going by. we live in an era where these people are still trying to move under old methods, trying to use old methods to execute old tactics, and we're hip to it now. We know the deal. The fact that we're still arguing, like George Zimmerman, it still starts with George Zimmerman and Eric Gardner. You watch them kill people, not necessarily George Zimmerman, but like you watch them kill people, and you know that they did it. And for some reason, we have a legal system in which it absolves certain people of certain actions based on their job description. I would love to work for Twitch and then, well, okay, let me not say that because that might get taken out of context. But I would love to work for Twitch and get away with something like I don't know, like stealing a car or something, and just say, well, I was a Twitch streamer, I was doing it for content. Like, I don't understand how we end up in a world where a doctor can be charged for medical malpractice that might injure somebody, but somebody physically holding up a gun and shooting you when you are unarmed is just thought of as, it's another day, another dollar. Human rights abuses in America have always existed, and I feel like now we're at a point where we're trying to figure out why the people in charge are allowing it to happen as opposed to stopping or even solving some of the societal issues that might lead a person of color to have a run-in with the police. We're not fixing over-policing. We're not fixing the old remnants of broken windows policing. We're not fixing the old remnants of stop and frisk. We're not fixing the societal effort to actually put communities back together. We're just holding them there by the teetering of their little, threads until they break, and then we blame the people themselves for it. And I never understood how we know that there were no drugs in Breonna Taylor's house. We know that a person woke up to the sound of the battering ram coming into their door. So of course yo, what's up? Yo, what's going on? In that situation, you would act the same way. Why would we have the legal system set up to allow people to get away with that type of thing, knowing full well that's what we've been asking for out of a situation our entire lives? The right to be able to defend ourselves. All these 2A gun nuts all shut up about this. The layers, the NRA, the judicial system, the prosecutors, the judges, you have to take a look at it from the inside out and realize that the game, for some reason, is just rigged by people's choices. We always love to say systemic racism is something that can be decodified within law, which is true to an extent, but you got to look at it from a bigger stage. I really have to view the system. And when I say the system, I mean the people that work in the courthouses, the people that work on the police force, the people that work in law enforcement, the people that work in medicine. I have to look at all of these avenues and say, you have legally killed Black people without any accountability. And you're just still out there practicing medicine. You're still out there being a cop. Oh, they moved him to desk duty. He shot somebody. He got PTSD. At least I would hope. Maybe he shouldn't be in that position anymore. Maybe she should. Let me not make this a he thing. Maybe they shouldn't be in that position anymore. For some reason, we don't have any solutions to these issues. We just let the ball keep rolling. So if the ball keeps rolling, especially in the United States, I'm going to have to say, well, I'm sorry, I can't care about the Ukrainians because once I do, they still coming after me.
Well, I got to tell you, Marquise, I'm careful what I say because I'm just a white dude, and
it's all good.
A white dude, every white person has some form of privilege, some more than others. But I got to tell you, as a journalist, I have felt this way for years. I'm sorry to say, but not much is going to change if we just keep protesting, circling around the same blocks, chanting the same shit. I can't tell you how many Black Lives Matter protests, Indigenous protests, you name it, that I've covered, and I'll continue covering them, that I left feeling like this is just kind of that same old record spinning. We're just doing the same thing, expecting different results. It's not for me to tell Black people how to lead their movements.
Right. No. As a matter of fact, I don't want to cut you off, but I want to cut you off because I want to save you the trouble. I appreciate that viewpoint. I think when we talked the first time, especially the last time, I always said you're one of those people that I feel doesn't put their foot in their mouths or step into an area or a situation that they feel or generally should feel like they don't belong in. And I appreciate that from you. I would say I agree with you on that front. There needs to be
I think there needs to be an economic part of these protests.
Yeah. Oh my God. So, okay. Small segue to make a point about a point. But the Canadian protests, the truckers, they have economic value. They have a thing that they can hold over the government that forces them not to be able to take certain steps with them. Oh my God, I don't want to risk the cargo. They're causing billions of dollars of damage every just the same way Black Lives Matter was. But it's their economic weight. They hold the keys. You need the truckers. Now what we're saying is when we start equating these protests, oh, so Black people need capital in order for you to listen to us, but you drain the capital out of our neighborhoods. What do we have to bargain with? Our lives. So when we tell you there's a problem, maybe you should listen. But look, here we are again, caring about people with blonde hair and blue eyes, and yet again ignoring all the other things that happen. If we can address this and say this is a problem, we can address other things and say that they're a problem at the same time. And maybe if we started creating a movement where we were, and I know we did, Black Lives Matter is that movement, but if we were able to create an economic movement along with a social movement, that seems to be the only way that these bureaucrats are going to listen to us, these oligarchs are going to listen to us, because the only other option that I can see is a complete, like, and when we say blue wave, I mean, let's just find 50 candidates, let's find 50, 100, 200 candidates across the entire country who are just going to move the country in a forward progression way. Let's work on a large campaign. They can't stop us all. We need to work on larger scale effectiveness, because they are able to snuff out protests very easily with the occupying force known as the police and the inactivity of the certain party who claims to care about us, the Democratic Party. We got to hit them where it hurts, and sadly that's their pockets. And I feel like with the Russia-Ukraine situation, they're finally feeling it. So hopefully maybe we can use that as a weapon against them, but we'll see. Time will tell.
Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in to Status Coup's daily live stream Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time and Fridays at 4 o'clock Eastern Time.